Hi everyone, I am Crystal Davis Cook and I am the Assistant Director at the University of Central Oklahoma Career Development Center, and I'm just checking in and hopefully I can offer you a little bit of support, and I thought maybe a few tips to kind of show how I've been coping with the last few weeks. So I know a lot of you are probably in the same boat as me. I'm currently working from home. So that's been a little bit of an adjustment, and I know many of you are probably doing the same thing. Maybe you've been transitioned to online classes if you're a student. So I know it's not always the easiest time for people if you're used to getting up, going to work, going to class, and that kind of helps you get motivated each day, keep being productive, those kind of things. So I thought I would share a little bit with you about how I've been coping with it. So one of the things that I thought I could show you is I could flip over and show you my workspace. So if you'll see here, I currently have my laptop along with a couple of different screens. I have my iPad. So I've got a few different things that I've been able to do just to kind of mirror what I have at work. So I actually even have more screens than I did there, which is nice. I never thought I would need 2 screens, and now I don't know how I go without them, and now I'm afraid I'll go back and I won't know how to do with less than 3. So if you have that opportunity, which I know not all of you do, but I would say set up your workspace at home or wherever you're working, and just try to make it as similar as possible as you can. Even if maybe you don't even have a table. I know some people are sitting on their beds working. So whatever you can do to make that space work for you, have the tools that you need, have the equipment that you need, everything in that space that you might need so you don't have to keep getting up and going to get other things. If you can make it as quiet as possible, that can be really helpful. So I think just doing what you can to make it feel like a productive workspace can be really helpful. Some of the other things I've noticed is just having a routine. So, getting up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, starting your work, ending your work. Now that you may be working in it's your office space now, and maybe you weren't doing that before. It's hard to balance being home and at work when it's all in the same place now. I know that's something that I'm juggling with, and what I find really helpful is just having a starting and an ending time and setting those boundaries so that when I shut down for the day, I'm done and I can just go and spend time with my family and really engage in my home life separate from my work life. And so that's definitely something that's been challenging for me. You'll also notice, you might be dressing differently. I'm dressed way more casually than I usually dress, but that's been kind of nice for me, and I haven't found it difficult for me to get in that mindset even with clothing that I'm wearing. But if you feel like getting out of bed and maybe you're trying out sweats or pajamas or workout clothes or something like that, and if you feel it doesn't really put you in that mindset to work, then you might even want to dress like you usually did for class or work, just to keep that consistency going. So I really think that the more consistent you can be, the easier it'll be to make the transition to what you're having to deal with now, and then whatever normal is in the future, if we're going back to work the exact same way we were before or class the same way we were before, then that can help that transition more smoothly as well. Some other things that I've noticed is just like challenges with technology. I'm having to get my space set up using different systems than I did before. So it can be difficult trying to learn new technology and how to use it with your team. But we don't know what the future of work is going to look like. It might be more remote. A lot of people are thinking this might teach companies that really you can have a lot of your workforce working remote and they can be effective working from home and save costs that way. So you may find that work transitions a little bit, like maybe it's not going to be the same as it was before. And so the more that you can spend time learning new technology, and you can really learn how to collaborate with team and keep communication going through using different tools, it's going to be really helpful for you in whatever field you're in. So I would really encourage you to look out for different technologies, such as what we're using now a lot is Microsoft Teams, or just other tools to do video calls like Zoom, WebEx, different things like that is really helpful. And I think that you'll find that it's going to be useful in whatever job you have in the future. So I think, those are probably my main tips for the moment, but I just want to say that the Career Development Center is still here virtually. We're still serving students, alumni, employers. So if you need help with that job search, I know it's a very uncertain time. So if you need some tips for that, if you need help with your resume, if you're still trying to figure out what career you want, we're definitely still here for you. We can set up a virtual appointment. We have a lot of resources on our website at careers.uco.edu. So feel free to use that and reach out to us with your questions. We haven't forgotten about you, and we don't want you to forget about us either. So I hope that you are staying healthy, staying positive, and remember, we're all in this together.